Hello, this is Megha Pandre, and today we will be doing a new chapter called Lesson Number 4, How the Traders Become Rulers. And in this chapter, we will be studying which are the number of policies implemented by the British rule to establish their rule in India. So here, let's begin with the chapter with the help of some of the images. Lesson number 4, How the Traders Became Rulers. Now, in the starting of the chapter, the children were engrossed in reading the story of two cats and monkey during the recess. On reading the story, Jai and Mitali were making fun of each other. So these are the two kids were there in the classroom and they were making fun of each other. Their class teacher, who was sitting beside them, said, "Children, this too is a policy. The third party take advantage of a quarrel between the two. The British had expanded their empire in India with such a policy." Now here you must have heard the story about two cats and a monkey, in which in the fight between these two cats, the monkey was the one who took the advantage. And this is how the role which was being played by the Britishers. Britishers were the one who took the advantage of the fight between the kings in our country. Jai asked, "Sir, how is that possible?" The class teacher replied, "Let us go to class and there I will explain about how the British came to India and established their rule over the Indians." By the mid of the 18th century, the British had started to emerge as a strong power in the Indian political horizon. Do you know British came to India only for trade? So at the very beginning, when they took a step in India, Britishers were the one who came with the purpose to trade. Their intention was not to rule us. Initially, they took permission to trade in the in Indian states. So first of all, whenever you start with any of the business with any of the country, first you have to take the permission from that particular king. So they took the permission and they started trading in India. Then how did they become the rulers of the entire India? Then how it comes? Then what happened that which led the Britishers to rule Indians or India? The history of the British rule arose many such questions. To serve their economic interest, they increased their political hold on India with the use of British diplomatic tactics. Now, what they started doing, they started using their diplomatic tactic. Diplomatic means the management of the relationship between the two countries, and tactics are whatever you carefully plan or whatever your action, you carefully plan your action for attaining a certain goal. So through their diplomatic tactics, they wanted to achieve their economic goal, and they also were able to. Now we will talk about the Wellesley policy of expansion, which are the policies which were being implemented by the Wellesley in order to increase the wealth of British. When Wellesley came to India as the Governor General, cutthroat competition existed between England and France. In the beginning, when the British came to India, at that time France was trading with India. And here British wanted to have monopoly. His monopoly while trading in India. So he didn't wanted any competitor with him. So there was a cutthroat competition with France. It was necessary to check France from being powerful in India so as to expand the British rule in India. Wellesley introduced a new plan which was known as subsidiary alliance. So Wellesley introduced which plan? Called subsidiary alliance. Now according to this plan, any princely state that accepted the alliance had to keep and maintain the British army as well as keep a British representative in the royal court. So these are the number of things, these are the number of objectives to be kept in mind by these number of rulers. This way, the British could maintain their army without spending any money. So here, whatever the expenses, the whole burden was given to the king, who accepted the subsidiary alliance. Now, however, the Prince State were not allowed to utilize the army at their own will. Although, if they have accepted the subsidiary alliance, they could not use the army on their own will. This system, which made them feel secure in the beginning, made them feel enslaved and threatened. At the beginning, they were very happy that they will be owing such a large army, but at the end, they realized that it is like a burden. The expenses um, were on the king. Indian states that became the victims of the subsidiary alliance were Hyderabad, Mysore, Ayodhya, Jodhpur, Gaikwad of Vadodara, Peshwas of Pune, and Sindhyas of Gwalior. So these are the number of people who were the victim of the subsidiary alliance. Now, Nizam of Hyderabad was the first victim of the Wellesley subsidiary alliance. Then was Mysore and Ayodhya. So slowly and steadily, one by one, accepted the subsidiary alliance, but they got into the trap of the British. Tanjore and Karnataka met with the same fate. The British made the Marathas fight among themselves and consequently made them accept the subsidiary alliance. And in Marathas, with the Maratha rulers also, they did the same thing by divide and rule. Through the divide and rule policy, they started fighting with each other, and this is how they also made them to accept the subsidiary alliance. Owing to the loss incurred by the Nizam in this fight with Marathas, he was the first to accept this alliance. So it was like a at the beginning they thought that it is like something very easily you will be getting a large army where you can fight anywhere, but first of all you have to take the permission of the Britishers, and then only you can take the help of the army. Tipu Sultan of Mysore refused to do so, but after the British victory in the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, Mysore was forced to become a subsidiary state. Maratha chiefs fought among themselves after the death of Nana Fadnis. One by one, all the Maratha states become the victim of divide and rule policy of the Britishers. So, which are the number of rulers became the victim of the divide and rule policy? Were namely Ayodhya, Gorakhpur, Tanjore, Karnataka, Furakabad also suffered with the same fate. The other states, namely Ayodhya, Gorakhpur, Tanjore, Karnataka, Farrukhabad, also suffered with the same state. In this way, within a span of 7 years, Wellesley expanded the company rule and made the British supreme power in India. So here we end with the explanation of this chapter. We will meet in the next part. Till then, goodbye.